This is the new Sirui 35 1.8 Anamorphic lens. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you're into tech reviews, travel videos, and short films, then you only have to do two things. Just click the subscribe button and the bell icon and you are good to go. So today we're gonna do a quick review of this new lens that I have, the Sirui 35 1.8 Anamorphic lens. Yes, the big and more badass brother of the Sirui 50 lens Anamorphic. I also made a quick review of this lens and I'll put the card somewhere here if you want to check him out. Also, this video we are going to compare them both. Anyways, we'll just skip the unboxing part of this video for I'll cover what's inside the box throughout this review anyways. So let's start with the actual appearance of this lens. The housing is made of aircraft grade aluminum alloy, much like its predecessor, the 50mm. Feels really robust and sturdy and feels heavy to hold, and it's about 700 grams. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Well, although technically this lens is actually cheap. I mean, where can you find an anamorphic lens with a price tag ranging from $549 to $800? Let me know down below if you do find one. I'd love to know about it. So moving on, the body and design is much more like the original 50mm but bigger in size, as you can see. It still has the black and blue theme and the white red markings. This lens is actually made natively as a micro four thirds mount, unlike its predecessor that is made natively for E-mount, but you can purchase a rear adapter rings for other APS-C lens mount, and it's very easy to install. You don't have to take out the micro four third mount, you just have to screw it on top and then you're good to go. This lens comes with two rubber focus gears that fit snugly on the aperture and focus rings. So this is actually a very nice added bonus to have since this lens only works manually. By having these two focus rings, you can mount it on your gimbal or camera rig with a motorized follow focus. I just wish that they also made one for the 50mm because I don't really like this thing sticking out. Although actually this serves you as an indicator to mark where you're pulling focus at. But as for me, I'm constantly looking at my focus peaking in my camera screen. I also like how the way it feels when you're turning the ring. It feels nice and smooth, and it is a little tighter feel compared to the original 50mm. You can actually feel the difference. Now, both of these lenses has a 67mm filter threads if you want to use an ND filter or polarizer on this lens. So enough of this outer aspect of this lens. Now let's talk about its image quality and performance. So this lens has also a 1.33 times squeeze anamorphic factor, which means that it will take a 16:9 aspect ratio and convert it into 2.4:1 aspect ratio after de-squeezing the image in post. Now, because it's an anamorphic lens, you're actually going to have a wider width image, meaning that this lens is actually capturing about 30 to 33% more horizontal field of view in comparison to a traditional 35mm spherical APC lens. But for the image height, it's going to be the same as the traditional 35mm. So after squeezing your footage, you're actually getting a total of 26mm APS-C image. The unique characteristic of this anamorphic lens is that it produces a blue horizontal lens flares and an oval bokeh effect, which will give you that dreamy filmic look. This lens is also fast lens that opens wide up to 1.8 aperture, which is good in low light and gives you that nice shallow depth of field or background blur. It is most sharpest from aperture f2.8 to f8. Now, these lenses are really great to have. The only downside of this anamorphic lens is that it has a minimum focus distance of almost 3 feet away from the subject, which means that you can't get up close to your subject to get that close-up shot or macro shot, which is a bummer if you're shooting a small object. This is also the same for the 50mm lens, but don't fret because you can easily fix that by attaching this extension tube or lens diopter if you prefer that, to get closer to your subject and get that close-up shot. But as for me, I'd rather use this extension tube because it attaches on the rear end of your lens, hence it won't affect your image quality. Unlike the lens diopter, which attaches in front of your lens, you don't really want to put another set of glass in front of your lens. Plus, if you're using a diopter, then you won't be able to use ND filters unless it has a filter thread. But then, even that, you're gonna put you'll be stacking up glass on top of each other, which will affect your image quality. So think about it. Anyway, overall, this lens is pretty amazing for its size and price. It has a lot to offer. So if you're looking for a cinema anamorphic lens, which is affordable, very portable, small, I think I would recommend this one for anyone who's looking for a cheap anamorphic lens, which does a really good job. So there you go. That is my opinion on this lens. So anyway, that's about it. That's my quick review for this lens. Hopefully you find it useful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that bell notification icon so that it will notify you every time I upload a new video. Until then, I will see you in the next one. Ciao.